Hi everyone. Why does adult life feel like a never-ending battle? Like no matter how much you do or what you do, you're still lost, still exhausted, still waiting for life to finally feel normal. Those certainly would have been my questions many years ago, and I did ask those. If you had a narcissistic parent, your entire adult experience has been shaped by the emotional enmeshment that kept you from becoming your own person. I'm Jerry Wise, and for over 45 years, I've helped hundreds of thousands of people break free from narcissistic and dysfunctional family dynamics, reclaim their true self, and finally build a life of emotional freedom, inner peace, and healthy relationships. Here's what life really looks like when you grew up in that kind of home. And stay with me till the end, because I'll also share how to finally get all of this dysfunction out of you once and for all. So what does adult life look like if you've had a narcissistic parent? Number one, feeling emotionally exhausted all the time. Daily life feels draining, like you're running on empty. Living can just feel hard. Adult children of narcissists often have overworked HPA, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal systems, as a result of all of the criticism, negativity, argument, shaming, abuse, and control over years and years. Though there's some controversy about this, I realize, but I cannot imagine constant stress and strain mentally, emotionally, and physically that our bodies would remain in balance. That just seems hard to imagine. Number two, overworking to prove your worth. You feel valuable only when being productive or achieving something. After years of having to perform and watch what you say and do, after being shamed, blamed, guilted, told you were worthless, unlovable, and a mistake, our self-love tanks have been empty, and so we seek to fill our tank with others' approval, others' love, others' acceptance, and others' admiration. That tank in us is empty. We then work the rest of our adult lives trying to fill that up. Unfortunately, it doesn't get filled that way. And so then we remain frustrated, tired, exhausted, lost. At least I did. And I think many that I've talked to over the many years, and many adult children of narcissists I've talked with, have felt similar. Number three, feeling like you're faking adulthood. Wondering if you're the only one who doesn't have it figured out. And I remember clearly telling myself, why didn't I get the memo? And ACONs, adult children of narcissists, often suffer from that imposter syndrome and feeling, like I just mentioned, that they never got the memo. They never have known what is normal, and they don't know who they truly are. I even remember reading a book, I think it's by Friel, F-R-I-E-L, on what is normal. Because what is normal? I have no idea. All I know is what I went through, not what is normal, healthy, mature, adult. I didn't know. Number four, suppressing your own needs and desires. You have no idea what you actually want because your childhood trained you to prioritize others. Not your needs, not your desires, others' needs and others' desires. There have been many times I've asked clients, well, what would you want in this situation? What would you truly like to do? And ACONs can have a difficult time answering that and figuring that out. They think, often these are the questions I would have thought. They think, what should I do? What is expected of me by others or by Jerry? What are the needs of others? Then and only then can they answer that question. And that's problematic because that's not self-differentiation. It's not being a self. It's continuing the family super self and living through family systems, feelings, and thinking. Number five, struggling to let go of guilt. Feeling guilty for things that aren't your fault and carrying them like they are your fault. For ACONs or ACONs, guilt is a stubborn renter in our brain and in our emotional system. We are much more comfortable carrying the guilt than dealing with the discomfort of others taking responsibility for their own actions, feelings, and words. It hurts us for others to have to carry that burden. It's just easier for us to feel guilty. Then we're not burdening them. And they don't have to feel the discomfort or the consequences or the outcome or results of their lack of responsibility. And so we just take on the guilt. Number 6, feeling like you're too much or not enough in friendships and relationships. Worrying that others secretly find you annoying or exhausting. Again, here we are feeling like a burden. And we have that Goldilocks syndrome. I always fear I am too much or I'm not enough in my relationships. Never just right. What is even just right? What is that? I wouldn't have been able to tell you. We learned this growing up from our parents and family members who projected their problems onto us. So never could we be just right. We're just an object of projection. Number 7, struggling with authority figures, either fearing them or feeling intense resentment towards them. Adult children of narcissists did not grow up with a fair, mature, healthy, non-controlling, empowered, and self-differentiated adult. And guess what? We would then have the trouble with authority figures as adults, either in resistance, resentment, fearing, or wanting to sabotage authority figures. Because the authority figures we had were not mature, adult, appropriate individuals. Number 8, trying to fix or rescue others in relationships. Being attracted to people who need saving, often at the expense of your own well-being, to fix or rescue others from their pain and from their brokenness. Number 9, feeling responsible for other people's emotions. You carry the weight of everyone else's feelings, often at the expense of your own feelings. We become the listeners, therapists, counselors, soothers, supervisors, managers, those who want to help others who need help. We can be experts at reading feelings and at feeling others' feelings and pain. Unfortunately, adult children of narcissists may struggle to identify and express their feelings. We don't know what they are. We don't know how to express them. We also don't have a good emotional or feeling vocabulary. And a feeling vocabulary, I think, is so important for maturity, self-differentiation, and growing up. Do you know what feeling words are? I couldn't have told you other than, okay, mad, sad. Okay, I got a couple of them, but I couldn't have given you 100 of them. They are just not as important as other lives. My feelings are not as important as theirs. And so as a result, I feel responsible for other people's feelings. Number 10, avoiding talking about your childhood as an adult. Either downplaying it or not knowing how to explain it. It can be just too painful to talk about our childhoods. We also may be in denial about what we experienced. We say, oh, that was then, this is now. No sense going into all that mess. And we just put a smile on our face while crying on the inside, smiling on the outside. I'm older now, and I leave the past in the past. How many people over these 45 years have I heard say that time and time again? And yet they still struggled, still had problems in their lives, and kept asking me why. And I kept talking about there may be some things you haven't been looking at. You want to look at those together. That might be of help. Number 11, a harsh inner critic that never stops talking. The voice in your head constantly tells you that you're not enough, no matter what you do. This harsh inner critic sounds much like our critical parent or parents, a bullying sibling, or other family members. These voices just keep on speaking to us. These voices never seem to give us a break. We may not even say these thoughts out loud, but we hear them with a loudspeaker inside our heads and inside our heart. We hear them loud and clear. Number 12, feeling like you're just going through the motions. Life feels like something you're surviving, not something you're really living. It's just surviving. And for many, barely. At least barely surviving emotionally or mentally, or we're just on the edge of barely kind of living life. We feel we are actors on the stage of life. We follow the script and rarely ever break out of character. If we walked off this stage of life and became ourselves, we wouldn't know who we were. if we jettisoned this pseudo self that I learned from my family, if I jettisoned my roles that I'm supposed to play, if I jettisoned my emotions, my thoughts that are often systems emotions and systems feelings, if I jettison that, I wouldn't know who I am. And I would feel like that man who has everything sucked out of him and he's just a smashed pancake. There'd be nothing left if I jettisoned all those. When in actuality, if we jettison the pseudo-self, jettison the systems feelings and systems thoughts, and jettison the roles that we have been trained and programmed to play, you'd be surprised what might blossom and grow into being a true self for you. Number 13, unexplained persistent loneliness. Even in a room full of people, I really felt disconnected, like I didn't really belong. I may even be the center of the party. And I even remember being the president of the student body in high school and felt so alone and so lonely. And you would think I would have some popularity. It didn't matter. It did not matter because I wasn't popular with me. I still felt alone. The feeling of real connection often eludes the adult child of narcissists. We're not connected to ourselves, so we find it virtually impossible to have healthy connection with others. It doesn't mean we don't have friends, doesn't mean we don't have acquaintances or collaborators or coworkers who like us, or it doesn't mean that, but real connection and deep friendships and relationships require some intimacy, vulnerability, and a lack of reactivity to really feel connected. That's not easy for us as adults. Number 14, feeling like an outsider in your own family. Either playing a role would be accepted or feeling like you were never truly wanted. So we play this role, we don't feel like we were wanted. Many people talk about how siblings chided them, even some parents kind of chided them with, you were adopted. Certainly with our own families, we can feel like an outsider. We play roles, we say things, feel things, and do things on cue. As the system pings us, as the emotional Wi-Fi system pings us, we then do this pseudo-self of playing roles, saying things, feeling things, and doing things according to this puzzle. But it does not feel authentic or genuine. Number 15, we have a guilt for setting boundaries. Saying no and having personal limits or distracting yourself from toxic people feels like a betrayal or an abandonment of them, even when it's necessary and would be a healthy move. We certainly lived the title, or I did, the title of the book, When I Say No, I Feel Guilty, by Manuel Smith. I certainly would recommend that book, because most ACONs live that title. Number 16, dreading contact with family. Just seeing their name on your phone or thinking about family gatherings might make your stomach drop, or you'd feel it in your throat. As adults, we end up with very estranged, conflictual, or scapegoated relationships with our family, and we can certainly be triggered by them. Seeing their name on the caller ID, them leaving a message for us, when they text us, when they send us a letter or card, or a request to get together, could really trigger us and we could feel some reactivity. Then we feel guilty for feeling reactivity because we go, well, that's our family. I shouldn't be feeling this way. Well, why shouldn't you be feeling that way? Because your role is to not feel that way. But the way the family has treated you, it would make sense that you would feel that way. But again, in dysfunctional families, reactions, subjectivity, what is true, what is not, what is right is wrong, and what is wrong is right in dysfunctional families. We can dread upcoming family gatherings, baptisms, birthdays, holidays, graduations. Number 17, never feeling good enough. No matter what you accomplish, there's a lingering emptiness, like you're always falling short. No amount of acclaim, awards, degrees, accolades fix the emptiness inside and how we are probably falling short. And I remember a specific graduate school getting a very, very special award that they'd only given to 3 people in the history of the whole university. And I was one of them. And while I was pleased to get it, it almost felt fake. It almost felt like, why are they recognizing me? This all was totally voted by all the faculty. So, I mean, it was a pretty prestigious award, but it didn't go inside me. It didn't go in. It was just like, well, that's really nice. I'm glad. But I wonder who they gave that to. That was me. It just doesn't feel real. Number 18, deep fear of abandonment. You either cling too tightly in relationships or push people away before they can leave you. We often do the, I want you, stay away. I want you, stay away. We do this dance in relationships. We might fuse with others or enmesh with others, but then push them away before they abandon us. Number 19, feeling uncomfortable when things are going well. Happiness feels foreign. Like something must be wrong if there's no chaos or no problems. And I always said in a crisis, you want to be standing near an ACOA or an ACON. Adult child of an alcoholic or adult child of a narcissist. But during calm and normal times, we may not be the best to deal with those. Normal, we don't deal with well. Healthy, we don't deal with well. Give me a drama and a crisis, and I'm on top of it. For ACONs, situations being healthy and normal feel abnormal and worrisome. Let me share with you some self-differentiation tips to help you get all of these issues out of you. All of the issues mentioned on this video are systems issues. Issues the system needed you to have and feel on cue. That's a part of the emotional field, the family's Wi-Fi, the family's big super self that everybody was connected to because no one was their true selves. We were just connected to this big super self of the family. And this programming is not the real you. And many times it feels exactly like the real me because it feels so normal. Just because it feels common, familiar, and normal doesn't mean it's you. Self-acceptance. Accept yourself for where you are today. And to truly heal, focus on developing your real self. Focusing on building a self you were never allowed to have. And if you're ready to finally break free and build a life filled with emotional freedom, inner peace, and healthy relationships, I hope you will join the free training today. Doesn't cost you anything. 84 minutes. It's, building a self you were never allowed to have. And over 30,000 people have taken the training and have used it to build a strong, confident sense of self. Free from guilt, control, and manipulation. I hope you'll click the link below to get started. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon below so you can never miss a new video. I want to thank you for watching. Have a great day and be wise.